So recently, I noticed a very disturbing issue online. I've seen a lot of young girls, most of them are not even of adult age, between the ages of 15 to 21, always using the phrase, men has shown them pepper. And then you begin to wonder how quick, what, what really happened? How did they get to the point of that conclusion, men has shown them pepper at such a young age? And it keeps you wondering, is it the parents' fault, or is it that these children expose themselves so fast? So I want to ask, what do you think? What did the parents not do well? What is the disadvantage of this early relationship or situationship sexually per se that these children has put themselves into?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. It borders on what challenges that we face, these days. The new generation that they call Gen Z, or they call woke generation. A set of people who feel that they are more conscious of their environment and need to move at a lightning speed more than their parents or their elder ones. There are so many factors. There are so many factors that has really caused this challenge that we face now. One of the challenges is failure on the part of the parents, on the part of the society, and generally our value system has been eroded. With the introduction of new technologies such as social media, there is pressure on our kids. There is pressure even on the older ones that are supposed to know more better than these Gen Z children to meet up. Everybody wants to do everything at a lightning speed because of this pressure. We really need to look at what is happening in the social media. We really need to control our words, our children, the access they have, with this social media. A lot of them are in social media, and some of them don't even have any business holding a phone to start with. You will see a child of 12 years, 13 years, the parents had already bought iPhone 17 or iPhone 16 or these latest phones, gadgets, smartphones, without even supervision. These children will open up different accounts and start exploring the internet. What they see in internet will definitely adversely affect them because they see, people showing off their boyfriends. They see their mates going into early relationship, and nobody is there to tell them, oh, this is wrong. This is not the right time for you to go into all those things. The parents leave them without supervision. So they go about with these phones, doing a lot of things online without somebody drawing their attention that these are things that you are not up to the age to go into. The Bible says there is time for everything, but right now it seems that there is there is no time for anything at all. Everybody wants to do everything as early as possible.
Okay, please, I want to ask, for parents, for this new generation parents who had already found themselves in a space or a situation where their girl childs are almost out of boundary, they are already seeing men even at a very young age, and maybe for some reason they feel, how do I retrace this child, how do I bring this child back? What do you have to say about, like, what's the key? How can they do it for a child who had already been exposed? How can the parents help the child come back and then follow the right track?
Okay, it becomes more challenging and more difficult. It's just like a spilled milk when a little girl is already exposed to relationship, is already exposed to sex. Because at that time they're already at their peak. They become intoxicated with everything that they are exploring in a relationship. It becomes more challenging for a parent who has failed in his or her responsibility to stop a girl from going into early relationship to now want to withdraw the girl from such relationships. But however, it takes serious counseling. It takes God's grace. It takes the grace of God, and the parents have to make out time to bring the girl child or a boy child very close, and probably take him to church, because most times these things, the only way you can fight this battle is to present the issue to God and make the person understand that the word of God is the only thing that can draw him out out of sin, because he is already exposed to it, or she is already exposed to that lifestyle. And at that their age, when they're exposed to such lifestyle, it becomes more difficult. So the only way out is not by bullying, is not by maltreating the child, is not by threatening the child, is by serious, consistent counseling, both spiritually and otherwise. In fact, most occasions it's even better that you hand over the child to a spiritual father, like a pastor, a good man of God, who will always have a meeting with the child, and the child will be counseled by such a person, because you have failed. For a child to even go to that extent, because he has already seen you as a failure. If you cannot stop him from going into early relationship, can you now stop him from? Can you pull him out of it? It becomes more difficult. So it's better that you look at somebody that he sees or she sees as a mentor, or she respects outside home, to counsel her or him. So that is one of the way forward.
Okay, so
Aside from the fact that you consistently continue to talk to tell the child the consequences of going into such early relationship. Continue to remind the child that if you continue in that direction, it will lead to his or her destruction.
okay, so I want to because I know some parents or some guidance are skeptical considering the world we are into today, considering the things that happen. Because sometimes we've seen where how do I put it? We've seen where the goat eats the yam that is hung on the neck. So we've seen situations where some pastors seems to defy little girls or go extreme when they are being trusted with these girls. So I'm sure some parents will be skeptical to hand over their girl child to some pastors for some reason, or some male influence for some reason, maybe because of what they have read on the internet, what they have seen, what they have heard, and all what. How do we navigate that? Um how do we navigate that aspect when you have some pastors or some elderly people who are supposed to watch over these children be the ones that define it?
Yes, we are living in a time where such things are very common, and it has actually affected the way we trust people these days. In those days, in our own time, we have this communal life where you can hand over your child to even a neighbor. But now, because of the type of society we have found ourselves, the moral decadence. Okay, we are talking about children now, even the elder ones. You can't trust anybody. But at the same time, for you to have a church, you attend, you are a member of that church, you are an active member of that church. That means you're able to build a level of trust, at least where some of the pastors in the church or some of the elders that you have known in the church, there is a level of trust, there is a relationship you have already established between the pastor or between an elder who you look up to and you as a parent. There are persons that you trust, irrespective of the fact that, oh, it's very difficult to find somebody outside their home that you can trust. So, such persons, even at the point of handing over your child, yeah, your child is not going to spend all day with the person. Even at the point where you can also attend such counseling sessions with your child. So these are the areas that you can also think consider if you are trying to pull out a child who has already been exposed to early relationship. These are areas because at that time it is not only you that can solve the problem because you have already felt in your responsibility to stop the child from being exposed to early relationship. So from being exposed to early sex. So the child will find it difficult to respect your views, your opinions, if you don't bring in an outsider that he also respects. But in this case, preferably a spiritual father, a reverend father, a pastor that you look up to. Even amidst these trust issues that we have in our society now, there are persons that, even uncles, even close relatives, aunts, there are persons that at least you have a level of trust that can help you, and not that you are going to hand over your child and abandon your child with the person. You will also come with the go with your child whenever they have this counseling session. So what I'm saying is that you need a lot of people to come in to intervene and remind the child that if he or she continues in that direction, she's digging her grave because that will hamper her ambition. Whatever thing she's chasing in life, there's no way she'll be able to achieve it if she is exposed to early sex or early relationship. You highlight the consequences like early pregnancy and so many other things. You continue to talk to the child. That is the only way. You're not going to put the child in a cage, for her to stop it. Since she has started it, that is the only way you can. And also put her in your prayers put him in your prayers. So that's a role a parent, a responsible parent can, play in trying to pull out a child who has been exposed by whatever reasons, you know, to early sex and early relationship.
Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate this. All right, guys. See you guys next time. Bye.